Okay, and we're live. So, welcome everybody to another wonderful day at the Daily Antidote of Song. Hi, good to see all your faces. Good to be here. I'm Jaden and I'm hosting today. And I think we should just get started saying hello. We have the wonderful Dr. Kim Harris back with us today. Hi, Dr. Kim. So excited to be getting so much Dr. Kim lately. And Jojo Rossi, who does everything for the Daily Antidote of Song. Hello, hello. Hello, Dan coming in from Vienna, Virginia, that is. Hello, Deborah in Kentucky. Hi, Arlene in Berkeley. Good to see you. Susan in Seattle. Steve and Michelle in Silver Spring. Good to see you. Ruth in Birmingham, UK. And Annette, good to see you. Susan G, hello. Jan in Illinois, glad you're tuning in today. Hello, One Curly Top. And Bonnie in Boise, Idaho, and in Maryland. Hello, hello. Karen in Oregon. Hi to Kathleen in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Hi, Deli. Good to see you. Hello, Ellen and Storm and Maple and One Bear in Massachusetts. Good to see you. Hello, Nancy and Christiana and Bob in Maryland, reminding us that it is day 933. We were thinking maybe it was 931, 33, just a couple days off. Gary, good to see you. Hello. Hello, Jane in Texas. Bronwyn coming in from Victoria, BC. Archie, glad to see you. Glad to have you here. Bob and Bear in Fog. Oh, it must be foggy in Massachusetts. Our friend with the deer as their profile pic coming in on an iPad, Jenny in Suffolk, UK, LMG, hopefully Darla's around somewhere too. Hello, Aloysius and Kate in Florida. Good to see you. Carol in Connecticut and Sandy in Western North Carolina. And I think I got everybody. Happy Tuesday. All right, so we have the wonderfully amazing, talented, delightful, bright presence, Dr. Kim Harris coming in today. Everybody give her a warm welcome. Hi, Dr. Kim, how are you doing?
Hi. I am so excited today. I know y'all gonna be going, she's excited every day we see her. She always says she's so excited. But I am particularly excited, and I'll give you a teaser and then we'll sing the song. There I was, Saturday night at the opening of a new opera at the LA Opera. So, I mean, it was already, a glamorous, well, whatever. So, anyway, so there I was when all of a sudden I ran into someone who had been on the Daily Antidote of Song earlier in the day. I've known her for years, but I didn't know that she had been on. And we had an excited and fun reunion. That's the teaser. We're going to get to the song.
Can't wait.
This So this song is one of the historic Negro spirituals, and it's one that there are many people who sing this song at their churches. If it's a church that has communion, a lot of times they'll sing this song, "Let Us Break Bread Together on Our Knees." It's one of the songs that got me interested in spirituals in the first place because I grew up singing it in my nice, very quiet and staid Presbyterian church in Philadelphia. And I'll tell you all about that, but let's sing. So, everyone, take a good stretch. Make sure you are breathing. I actually went to spin class this morning, so I'm breathing all right. Let us break bread together on our knees. And yes, Jim Harkless. Oh, yeah, and I had so much fun with him. Remember that? I know. I'm just so excited. Here we go. Let us break bread together on our knees. Let us break bread together on our knees. When I fall on my knees with my face to the rising sun, oh Lord, have mercy on me. Let us drink wine together on our knees. Let us drink wine together on our knees. When I fall on my knees with my face to the rising sun, oh Lord, have mercy on me. Let us praise God together on our knees. Let us praise God together on our knees. When I fall on my knees with my face to the rising sun, oh Lord, have mercy on me. When I fall on my knees, when I fall on my knees with my face to the rising sun, oh Lord, have mercy on me. Now, let me see a show of hands. How many people have sung that song before, or you knew that song? Yes, I see lots of people waving and smiling. Yes. I grew up singing that song at the Germantown Community United Presbyterian Church in Philadelphia. I loved that song. I didn't know anything about it. We sang it every month on the first Sunday of the month when we had communion. So it sort of made sense. Let us break bread together. Now, on our knees, that Presbyterian church, we did not have kneelers. Nope, we didn't kneel. But there it was in the song. And I fall on my knees with my face to the rising sun. I didn't know what it was talking about. This was the first song where I got an idea about spirituals sometimes having secret codes. Now, I think I talked about this before a little bit. I know that Jim Harkless talks about this too. Well, I found out in school that there were times when enslaved African Americans used this song as a signal that there was going to be a secret meeting in the hush arbor where the land dips down. They might hang up some quilts to dampen down the sound. Sometimes they might take a big cooking pot and turn it over on the side, and with the idea of it catching the sound. Let us break bread together on our knees. We're going to have a secret meeting. But if someone says to you, let's have a meeting, and then they walk away, there are still two things you need to know. You need to know when, and you need to know where. When I fall on my knees with my face to the rising sun. Yep. So the meeting is going to be in the morning, probably an hour to an hour and a half before sunrise, because of course, for many enslaved people, once the sun was getting ready to come up, you had to be about your work for the day. Well, many people had to because, the natural light. You needed to use the natural light. Well, the other thing you would say is, well, where? Facing the rising sun. Now, I got some bad news for y'all. Last week, I was with a group of high school sophomores, and I asked them the question, in which direction does the sun rise? They gave me a quizzical look and they did not know. Oh my gosh. Yes. Oh no, indeed. And so finally, I'm like, okay, the sun rises in the east. I see a lot of you with those faces going, ah, and that's. And their teacher was also saying, oh, well, the sun rises in the east still. Okay. So the idea of going to the eastern side of the farm or village or plantation or shipyard or, where you could have that meeting on the eastern side. And you might maybe talk about escape from slavery, but maybe just talking because communities need to talk because that's what we do as human beings. Well, I was with a group of teachers. Reggie and I were doing a workshop for teachers. I think it's probably one of the ones that we did through the Kennedy Center. And, sang this song, talked about it, and one of the teachers raised their hand. I love working with teachers. They raised their hand, right? And he said, I also know something else. I can tell you what I hear in the song. And I thought I was intrigued. And I looked at his clothing. And he had on a long white garment. And he had on a kofi, covering his head. And he said, I fall on my knees with my face to the rising sun. And he said, well, to me, that sounds as if they were getting up for the first morning prayer in Islam. Yeah. And I said, of course, there it was in plain sight, hidden in plain sight, right there in the song. Now, now when you think about it, and, so many of our songs, this is important. When you think about the fact that scholars figure maybe 20% of the people who were enslaved, sometimes as high as 25%, they had Islam as their faith tradition. And many of them continued to practice Islam as hard as it was to keep the, praying 5 times a day. They had to figure out how to get that in. Keeping your head covered. Now, a lot of times when you see pictures of enslaved people, they have their heads covered, so that probably wasn't quite as difficult. But eating, how are you going to do that? How are you going to get enough food to eat? How are you going to not eat things like pork? So there were lots of things to it, and yet there were some who kept their Muslim tradition. Okay, so how is this connected to going to the opera? Well, there is a new opera composed by Rhiannon Gittins. And I know many of you probably have heard about her and know about her, Rhiannon Gittins and Michael Abels. And it is about a man by the name of Omar ibn Said. Omar ibn Said. He lived from 1770, they think that's when he was born, in Senegal, what became Senegal. He died in 1864. He was a Muslim scholar, a scholar of the Quran. He was captured. He endured the hell of the slave ships. He was sold in South Carolina, and he escaped. He escaped and he made it about 200 miles up into North Carolina. And he was arrested for being a vagrant. Someone saw, a black man out on the street there, and he got arrested. He was put into jail, I believe in Fayetteville. And someone came into the jail and they said, there is something going on here, because they looked at the walls of the jail. And they saw, it looked like he was scribbling something. Well, he was writing. He was writing in Arabic. Eventually, someone recognized that he was writing in Arabic. And so they got him out of jail, and he became their enslaved person, the Owens family, Omar bin Said. And he continued to write. Some say that he converted to Christianity and became Presbyterian. But there are many others who really figure, the scholars these days figure that he didn't really convert to Christianity. Now, he may have had something like what we call these days double belonging. And why do they say that? Because someone gave him a Quran that was in English, but he didn't really need that because obviously he read Arabic. Someone also gave him a Bible that was in Arabic. And they saw that he had some things in Arabic written on that Bible. He wrote, in the front pages. And they thought, oh, he's writing the Lord's Prayer, or he's writing the 23rd Psalm out. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. And he's writing that in Arabic. Well, later scholars looked and said, no, he wrote Islamic prayers in praise of Allah. So very interestingly, they figure he probably didn't convert, or like I said, perhaps it was a double belonging. It's such an incredible story. He lived to be 94 years old. And many people came to see him because they couldn't believe this scholar, this person who was Muslim, this person who had quite a story. And there he was. So, Omar bin Said. Well, Rhiannon Gittins got very interested in his story. And so she composed an opera with Michael Abels telling the story of Omar bin Said, and it's called Omar. It premiered at the Spoleto Festival, I believe in South Carolina. And the second place where this opera is playing is at the LA Opera. And when I teach on slave narratives, I teach about Omar bin Said because his narrative is the only one written in Arabic that we have. They actually still have the book which he wrote. They have the letters that he wrote. And so I said, well, Omar bin Said, I know about him and teach about him. Rhiannon Gittins, I gotta go. So the opening night here in LA was this Saturday night. And you get there early, and there we are. We're all excited because we're going to see this opera. And there is Dr. Diane White Clayton. And some of you, saw her Saturday morning. Yes, indeed. And I didn't realize, because I wasn't able to be there for Saturday morning for the Daily Antidote. I didn't realize that she had, been a part of the, Black Composers Commissioning? And I said, oh, I heard that your sister was on the Daily Antidote of Song this morning. And she said, I was too. I know. And we just screamed and hugged and all. And she is incredible. And when I first came to teach at Loyola Marymount, she was the director of the gospel choir. And so I had the real pleasure of getting to work with her for several years. And so we were just so excited about the whole thing and excited to get to see the opera. Now, I tell you, I'm going to go again because especially with a new opera, I need to see it a couple of times, so I can get into what the composers were doing, get a feel for it. The set is incredible. You'll see if you look at some of the links there. The set is really incredible and beautiful, and to hear the voices, it's just amazing. So, to see her, to think about Omar bin Said, to think about the evidence of enslaved African Americans who were keeping to their Muslim faith. And that song, you might be saying, because I know a lot of you, especially because of the way that we sing so many different kinds of songs, you might say, well, it's interesting that this song is a spiritual, and yet it doesn't have that call and response form that you have in so many spirituals. It really is written more in a hymn form. Well, and this, thinking about the person I was talking about growing up in an Episcopal church, many scholars these days think that this song, Let Us Break Bread Together, actually was written by enslaved African Americans who were Episcopal. And they either had to go to church with their masters, or sometimes they would have to be outside and sort of looking in through the windows, or having to sit in the balcony, and yet they were Episcopal, and so they figured that that is where this song comes from, through their particular experience. It's just amazing. I've been learning a lot. The chair of my department in theological studies here at Loyola Marymount is Muslim, and I've been learning a lot. We have a new scholar of early Islam that just started this September, and all of us are actually going to get together and go to see the opera Omar again. And I'm probably going to go another time too, but that's a whole other thing. So yes, it is not. It's 9:22 here on the West Coast. I'm going to sing the song again. Now, I know usually you have like a host and then you have a singer. And I've been kind of doing it all myself, talking
I
about
feel
myself.
like
Except Jaden, you did such a great job. Jaden is our official host. I'm just the rattling on person. But can you see how excited I am? And I'm so excited to be connected with the Daily Antidote of Song, because you can go to the place to be in LA on Saturday night for the opening of this opera. And there is Dr. Diane White Clayton. I mean, y'all are just the coolest. Or I guess we're just the coolest, because I feel like I'm part of this family too. So, all right. Let's sing. All right, take a breath. Well, I guess I'm the one that needs to take a breath.
I'm just gonna pop in and say thank you, Dr. Kim. You made my job easy, and you are very much a part of the Daily Antidote family. We're so glad that you've been coming in so much, and thank you for sharing all that information. I mean, I would say, based on my experience, it's not well known the by the public, and it's really remarkable to get to hear those stories, and the fact that there's like a record of it, right? Like that's pretty remarkable. So it's really exciting, and to see your excitement just makes it even more exciting.
Well, you know what? I know that this opera is going to go to some other places. I believe it's going to be in Chicago. I'm sure at some point it's going to wind up in New York. So it's going to be some various places. So if you get the chance, it's a good one to go and see. So there's so many wonderful connections. And of course, I love it that we sing here some of those original source material songs. That really just is quite wonderful. And I thought I'd sung this one here before, but Joe looked it up and said that we hadn't, or at least I hadn't. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to get to do this. So let's do it again. I'll take a breath. I don't know. Maybe it's spin class that has me just zooming this morning.
You're zooming in the Zoom room.
Zooming in the Zoom room. All right. And I wish I could hear everybody, because I know that many of you are singing some incredible, wonderful harmonies. So, and then I'll look forward to coming back. Remember when I came on with my mom
Hmm.
a little while ago? So my mom I'm going to be with her again. Uh, and so then, yeah, so I get to come back. These days, her latest video that she's been showing is the one, I register, I vote, I must. So she's got this great voter registration video.
Beautiful. We can't wait. There was
Yeah,
a lot of excited like nodding and cheering when you mentioned bringing your mother back into the room. So
yeah.
that'll
So,
be great.
okay. So here we go. Let us break bread together on our knees. And yes, if you could put the lyrics back in there. And I know lots of you don't even need them, but we're going to put them in there, because there we go. Here we go. Let us break bread together on our knees. Let us break bread together on our knees. When I fall on my knees with my face to the rising sun, oh Lord, have mercy on me. Let us drink wine together on our knees. Let us drink wine together on our knees. When I fall on my knees with my face to the rising sun, oh Lord, have mercy on me. Let us praise God together on our knees. Let us praise God together on our knees. When I fall on my knees with my face to the rising sun, oh Lord, have mercy on me. When I fall on my knees, when I fall on my knees with my face to the rising sun, oh Lord, have mercy on me. Now, some of you may have heard slight variations to the song, and if you look at that link from the hymnary.org, they give you a little bit about that. One of the variations I remember hearing was, when I fall on my knees with my face to the rising sun, oh Lord, have mercy if you please. And so some people sang it that way, yes. So thanks, everybody. I look forward to seeing you again. It is always fabulous to be with you and wonderful to be a part of this worldwide glamorous family.
Thank you, Dr. Kim. Always such a delight having you. And yeah, I'm definitely going to keep an eye out for Omar the Opera, see if it comes over to the East Coast eventually. Sounds amazing. Yeah. Well, oh, it is exactly 12:30 for me. So okay, wow, that's amazing. Thank you again for sharing all of your knowledge and beautiful singing. So thank you, Dr.
You're
Kim.
welcome, and
And
thanks, everybody. So I'm off to read a little bit more and write a syllabus for next semester. Okay, bye-bye.
bye bye. Okay, one thing I forgot to do during the hellos is say hello to Facebook. So we have to give one a hello to Facebook Live, and then also a goodbye to Facebook Live. Farewell, farewell, farewell.